virgin.
大家好，欢迎收看《通知一犯人》，我是艾心凌，
我是小刚。中国的变装历史呢是源远流长，古有木兰戎装代父从军，今有戏剧大师梅兰芳的贵妃醉酒。今天我们要去采访一位从纽约来的非常有名的变装皇后，听听她在国外的变装生活。
Ni hao, queer as folk Beijing. Do you want me to look into the camera like the ham bone that I am?
You can ham it up.
People stare at me, you know, either way, in drag or out. And then we were laughing because everyone was staring at me in Tiananmen Square.
Oh, well, that's pretty.
And it was, and I was like, you know, they stare at me in my own country. So.
So you're used to it.
I'm
You're an old
used.
hand.
Yeah.
Oh, they are too. It's a special Chinese tiger.
But is it? I thought it was. I think Korea is associated with the tiger, but I didn't know that until tonight. When I put it on, I've actually got a sprained ankle. Not sprained, but
sprained ankle.
it's recovering. But
That's
I have to
lovely.
wear a compression sock, which you can see through hose. So I'm trying to be.
You need to wear the leggings.
Yeah, that's why I had this outfit made.
Well, what are your first impressions of Beijing?
I was amazed by the size of everything. So, I mean, the size of the, we went to the Forbidden City, and we did the touristy things, and also went to the Tiananmen Square, but the Tiananmen Square is the biggest, am I saying it right? Tiananmen?
Yeah, Tiananmen Square.
Okay,
that's right.
Tiananmen, okay. The biggest square in the world, and I was like, you know, I've never seen...
You've been out on the street very briefly dressed in drag. What was the response?
Not in, well, very briefly. Laughter, howls, throwing rocks, the usual. Same in my own country. Crossing themselves, praying. You know.
Now, for people who are might be thinking of dressing in drag, what advice can you give them? What helps to make a hot, sexy drag queen?
You're asking me? Good one. She's a comedian. No, well, I mean, everybody has to have their own style. I mean, well, not necessarily. You can copy someone else's style, but, you know, finding what works for you sometimes takes a while. It took a very long time for me to, you know, figure out what looks best on me, which is basically something short that shows the legs because I have a fat stomach from eating all the Chinese food. I've gained 50 pounds in 3 days.
Gosh.
Yeah.
But you've gained it in such a beautiful way.
Oh, thank you. She's a lesbian. But, you know, I have to look good here in Beijing because there are so few jobs now in the United States that I have to come to Asia to look for work. It's awful. Go ahead.
But so, in terms of finding your own style, were there any particular pop princesses that inspired you, or any influences?
Yes, but they are so old that no one watching this will know who they are. I've only read about them in books, but or maybe seen an occasional rerun on. But no one knows who she is in China. Very few people know who she is in the United States anymore. But her name is Barbara Eden, and she had a show called I Dream of Jeannie, in which she played it was in the mid 60s, and she always had a big ponytail, big blonde hair, and lots of false eyelashes. Another person who people say that I look a lot like, even though I love her music, I've never tried to say I'm imitating her, is Dusty Springfield.
I wanted to ask you about drag and identity, because in China there's quite a few people might think that being a drag queen is about wanting to change your sex. And of course, with drag queens, there's many different types of drag queens, and there's drag queens that have sex with men, drag queens that have sex with women, drag queens that have sex with both. So what's your own take on this, and how do you identify yourself?
Sex
from Ms.
with
Justice
anyone,
Winfield.
anytime. Come on, I'm ready. Don't you make me go back to the United States without getting laid. And you see, I have my pussy cat.
Represent.
Well, you know, you can get lost in labels, but I do not want to change my sex. That was very interesting to go to Thailand, where the lady boy culture is so prevalent, and on the front page of the newspaper, the Bangkok Post, there was, like a plastic surgeon's ad that was like, tummy tuck, 600, sex change, 1,500. And it's like, wow, on the front page of the paper. So, I mean, obviously they're very accepting. But I don't live dressed this way, but I don't really want to have a sex change. I mean, I'm happy with the way that I am. I mean, sometimes it's like living as two people, but even when all of this is gone, I wouldn't say that I was terribly masculine. Well, I would say move to a big city, because there you're going to find many of your own kind. You're going to find people who are supportive. You're going to find, gay bars where you can go and not just meet people for sex, but see, what attracts you. Is it the leather scene? Do you want to be a transvestite? Or, just kind of, there's more to choose from. Plus, because of the anonymity of a big city, you're more free to be yourself.